So there's been this topic that has kind of been like a very controversial topic currently in Nigeria. It started with this video of that woman that rejected her boyfriend's proposal because he didn't kneel down. So that is
Yeah.
why today's topic is do men have to kneel down when when they are proposing? And we are here with Friendly, member of O29 Law Class. Great to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, great to have you. It's been a controversial thing for a very long time now.
Yeah, yeah, it has been.
I mean, people have been coming out to say men should not kneel down when they want to
Yeah.
propose. Some are saying they should kneel down. Some are saying it's not our culture. Some are saying this and some are saying that. So yeah, I think today I would like to, look
Yeah,
into this matter and see what we can.
and through my life. Yeah, beautiful. I think sometime around, I think last week I saw you ranting about this thing like
Yeah.
on your status. Like it took like the whole page and also the next page. Like you were so fucking passionate about it. Like
Yeah.
what triggered it?
Okay, yeah. So there was this the video actually that
Mm,
I saw on Unique Updates, the
yeah,
popular
the
um
popular WhatsApp TV
WhatsApp
in
TV in
Nick.
this campus, and he posted a video of a guy, obviously a student. I think they are both students. I don't know if they were signing out or whatever,
Yeah,
but then he wanted to propose to her and probably felt kneeling down was not enough for him and he decided to even like prostrate and lie down on the bed and everybody was like sorry, everybody was like hailing and saying say yes, say yes, say yes. And the first thing that came to like the first emotion that took over me when I saw that video was
yeah.
shame.
Shit.
No, the shame was I was just like, okay, let me calm down first and see what people have to say about this,
Yeah.
right? And then obviously the guys were actually very pissed off, like what was the whole rationale behind this thing? Like, I mean, you felt Linda was not enough. You actually had to prostrate on the bed and just to ask for a lady's hand in marriage and all that. Now imagine if she had said no to that kind of
Yeah.
situation. Like, imagine how it would have gone. And this and that. So like people were like just giving their own different opinions. And then a particular girl said something. I actually want to like to read that.
Okay.
And she said something. She was like, 79,000 people die each year from childbirth, and several other women suffer complications like memory loss, hypertension, and all that. She said
Yeah.
madness too. And she said, and the women who still cook and clean for the so-called man and nurture the kids. So, yeah, you are meant to get on your knee when proposing. And
Like she's trying to base a fact on women are suffering and this and
yeah,
that.
and I saw this, I was like, where is this lady taking us to with this point? Because this point is looking so, off and all that. Well, I said, let me move on. Then I saw a guy respond to it saying, the problem with most women is that they just look at all these. I can't remember the exact words he used, but
Yeah.
he said they mostly look at the flashy part of love, the part that looks so appealing to them, the one that they claim to be romantic.
Yeah.
They don't look beyond these things, this act. They feel like if he doesn't kneel down to propose to me, it's not the right one for me. They don't look at the fact that these things do not equate love, does not equate respect, does not equate honor. I personally added as my caption that a man, I think I said it in pidgin, that a man will kneel down propose to you today if he beat you tomorrow.
Exactly. I saw that in your status and it made so much sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the fact that a man is kneeling down to propose to you does not necessarily mean he's going to be the right one in the
In the
marriage for
future,
you.
yeah.
And it's something I don't know why, especially Nigerian ladies, because of what I've seen recently, are very very obsessed with that. I don't know why it's
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, like first off, I love what you said, man. I love what you said, especially that like women need to learn to look beyond the flashy part of love,
Mm.
right? Because he knelt down today does not mean he's the right person. And
Exactly.
imagine turning down the right person just because he didn't
It's
he didn't kneel
kneel
down.
down.
It's a loss on your end and it's like very bad.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, is there like a compromise to this thing? Like let's say, like I understand your take now. You're on the side of men doesn't necessarily have to kneel down.
Yeah.
But like let's say a girl you've been with, let's say you've been with her for years and stuff like that, and it's time to propose, right? And then she's like, going to have to kneel down. Like, I don't like. Is there like a compromise, or are you like with this ideology, like 100%, no compromise, no going back, no turning your head around?
With love,
Mm,
anything love has to do with, there's always compromise always have to come into place.
yeah.
But then
Mm,
ladies should learn, or anybody, I don't, let's not even restrict it to ladies, anybody, as long as you're in a relationship, as long as you're in a partnership, as long as you're in anything with anybody, you should learn not to make unnecessary demands also.
yeah. Yeah.
As much as, okay, I could say, because this probably lady really wants, let me just do it for the sake of, okay, yeah, I mean, just for it to, I mean, it's not something that will take much from me anyway, so let me just do it for doing sake. But like, personally, I feel like, okay, why does she want it? Most of them, at the end of the day, it's not like they really want it for the sake of, like, probably they don't feel like, it's not actually because they feel it shows them respect or whatever. At the end of the day, let's not, like, most of these things just for cloud chasing.
Yeah,
They
just
want to
for
have a video to show their friends, their family,
yeah,
to post on social
exactly.
media, to be like, oh my god, you got engaged, the man is so romantic. They feel like, probably because they won't get the same motion they would get if the man just stands and, will you marry me, compared to when he
Yeah,
kneels down and it looks so romantic and everybody's like,
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So like basically what you're trying to say, they're just after the viewers and
Yes,
cloud chasing. Yeah,
majority of them.
yeah.
And I, like, someone mentioned something. I can't necessarily. I think it was, is it Peter Oduchi, and so one of that, a very prominent man in the north also
Yeah.
mentioned at one particular time, probably 2 years ago, that kneeling down to propose isn't part of the African culture.
Mm,
And that was a very interesting turn in this whole narrative. So I decided to go and do some research on, the history of this whole kneeling down to propose thing. And from what I could see, no one could really pinpoint where it exactly started from. But a lot of evidence pointed to medieval England, where knights
mm.
were always the ones to
Kneel
kneel.
down.
Yeah, the actually it started as them kneeling down to pay as royalty, like to the kings and everything.
Mm.
But probably, knights are someone, probably because of the way they've been trained, they tend to be, I don't want to call it dramatic,
Yeah,
but the way they tend to, like, overdo some things,
yeah.
even,
They tend to overdo
yeah,
some certain things.
yeah,
Yeah.
in some a certain aspect that are not related to their work aspect.
Mm.
Like, this thing of, they say a knight in shining armor. Like,
Yeah.
knights are
Yeah.
like someone
Nights are
that,
like very poetic, very
exactly,
yeah. They always express themselves very well.
yeah. So that's the thing. So probably from what I saw, I mean, nobody's really sure, but like the few knights, because they used to kneel down, then they also started kneeling down to propose. That's what I couldn't really get any specific history. And at the end of the day, I was like, okay, so how does this have to how does this concern me as an African? How does this concern me as a Nigerian?
Mm.
At the end of the day, what does kneeling down mean? Surrender. I'm surrendering myself. I'm surrendering everything. Soldiers kneel down to surrender when the enemy troops are coming against
Yeah.
them, and you're
Exactly.
like, okay, we can't handle this anymore. We surrender. Some certain denominations, I think Catholics, I'm not Catholic, so I'm not really sure, but I
Yeah.
think they kneel in
In church.
church.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And some of these things, to me, it's, I don't want to say, I don't want to sound like this, but at the end of the day, let me leave that aside. But personally, everybody knows it's not even an African culture. The Islam is against it. Actually, feminists might call this misogyny, saying that men are not meant to kneel down to women because they are not, the women are not higher than the men. But
Yeah.
that's a story for another day. I don't want
Yeah.
to go into that today. But personally, African culture, that's why you ask your parents. I asked my mom, did my dad kneel down when he was proposing to you? She said no. She didn't even really see why it was necessary for him to do that. Like, looking back on it, like, seeing the question even felt like
Yeah.
kind of funny
Yeah.
to her. So a lot of our parents, if you go back and ask them, did they, the end of the man kneel down? No, because naturally it wasn't like that. Going back to the earlier days, you see men, right?
Yeah.
They, when they want to get married, they'll have the woman they like.
Mm.
They talk to her, they tell her that they want to get married to her. She accepts. He tells his family. His family goes to meet her family. They do what
Exactly.
they want to do. They accept. There's no whole drama and this thing about it. If she doesn't want to do, okay. If he wants to do, let's be straightforward. Marriage is not a thing of it's not a thing of flowers. It's not a thing. I don't mean, it's not a thing of, like, is of lights and
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
serious
Yeah.
thing.
Marriage
You're
is
making
actually
a commitment.
a commitment. Yeah. For
Yeah,
life.
for life, for however long you want to do it. So I mean, it's not something that you should base it on he knelt down, he didn't kneel down. That's just literally a gesture of me going. I mean, to me, it's not. It could have been something else. It could have
Yeah.
been if a man does not sit down on the floor or whatever. It's just like what has been popularized
What has been popularized? Yeah,
and what we are
that is
made
now
to.
what people are following. I mean,
Exactly.
I love what you said about kneeling down not being the African culture, because personally I thought it was like I never really asked myself the question where it came from. You know,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that you see, it's there,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
you never really question it. So now seeing that, okay, kneeling down is not the African culture, it's not leaving you the question. Then why Africans? Like, why are we now so like obsessed with this idea of, oh, you have to kneel down before the person does it to you? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, in our class group chat, when I posted that thing, somebody based his own argument of men kneeling down on, if you look, guy, he based his own argument on men kneeling down on the fact that because she's going to leave her father's house and she's going to change her son name.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very nice point, but like I told him that you never forced her, right? She did it
Yeah.
willingly. You never forced her. So like, you know, he was trying to make it kind of seem like, oh, she's being abducted into suffering and all this thing. At the end of the day, there are men that have money that will like take care out of, like, take care of the girl, like, man.
Yeah. Sure.
So I mean, basing your stance on the fact that, oh, she's going to change her name and she's going to leave her father's house, then I don't think it's like it's a valid reason for, because what I ended up saying when we like kind of closed the argument was that I feel like it should be a choice,
Yeah.
not an obligation.
Yeah.
Right? Like, someone to ask you, when a guy kneels down, who has power? Like some people call it humility. She grab. Like,
Okay.
there are people that come through the angle of it's being humble.
Okay.
Like, do you have like any, let's say, any light, maybe something that you want to say about that? Like, people coming through the angle of, okay, it shows humility. It shows that, okay, for example, that example of the person that is lying down, the person can easily say that it shows humility, that he's humble, that he's not proud and stuff like that.
Yeah. 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 No, there's always, like they said, um I can't remember the exact thing, but it has to
Yeah,
do with two extremes, not whatever. I can't remember how it ended.
yeah.
But I mean, you want to be humble. There's a line between humility and going into abject shame or whatever.
Yeah.
His own was pure extremity. On my from my own perspective, I don't even want to refer to that in this example. But like people saying that men kneeling down to propose is humility. Well, they might have a point because they could mention that Jesus washed the feet of his disciples and all that.
Yeah,
and all
valid
that and
point
all that.
actually.
Very, very, very valid point.
Yeah,
But the problem is that we're fighting for equality, right? A man kneeling down to a woman. I know this is a very funny tone now. When a man kneeling to propose to a woman is showing that, okay, the woman, he's surrendering his life to the woman, surrendering everything to the woman. Obviously signifying that the woman has power and control over him, if you want to be clear with the symbolism. But let's even take a little turn away from that, little curve from that now. Now they're pushing for equality, right?
yeah,
The females are like, we don't want the way, we don't like the way our mothers were being treated in the marriages. We don't want this, we don't want that. And I'm saying fine, right? We want equality. Now, this same lady, this same girl that is angry that her mom had to get on her knees to serve her father a plate of food,
yeah,
this same girl that she's angry that her mom has to get on her knees anytime the dad is angry, any slight provocation,
exactly.
is now the same person
That is
that is now saying that before you can marry me, you have to get
me.
on your knees.
Knees.
I mean, the double standards here, it's like it's actually like crazy to
It's
me,
actually
because I
crazy.
mean, what you're fighting for, you're also destroying it on the other hand. If you're like, let's be equal, if you're saying, okay, if the woman decides that she wants to kneel down to serve her husband as an act of humility, it's her choice. She chose to do it. Nobody should force her to do it. And if a man wants to kneel down to get married, to propose to or propose to a lady,
It's his
yeah, it's
choice.
his choice. Okay, I'll say, okay, fine, no argument. Everybody's happy.
Yeah,
But when, I mean, look at the certain girl that was on the group that was really pushing, and I mean, I saw people coming to my DM ranting, crying, shouting
bro.
that girls, that it shows that a man does not have. I was like, why does this thing even why does it even matter in the first place? I don't know. I don't know because to be honest, like let's even going back to the whole African thing again. Once again, it's like it's you can looking at it again. We have to like looking at the problem of. I don't want to sound like that much of a Pan African because I'm not
Yeah.
really I'm not really that. But then stop it to promote your African culture. Stop it to push what Africa is truly is. You're still going back to I don't want to sound like this, but then it still feels like colonial mentality in a way, in a certain way. You have your culture, you have your way of life that you should be propagating, you should be pushing to the world, let them see. But instead of that, you are inculcating the values, the system, the customs of the old British people or
Yeah, the
whatever.
old
To
British
me,
people,
it
yeah.
feels
Yeah, it feels dumb
yeah.
actually. I mean, in the sense that number one, it wasn't our culture, and I love when you brought on the talk of equality.
Yeah.
And I don't want to divert, but like, do you believe that men and women are truly equal?
Um Personally,
Mm.
equality is almost akin to illusion because I feel that as long as there's a difference between one thing and another thing, they can never be truly equal.
Yeah, bro. I love. I feel.
Whether or not the man is
Yeah.
higher than the woman, or the
Yeah.
woman is higher than the woman, or the woman is higher than the man, rather, is the case, I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is that the whole concept of equality, especially in the case of gender
Gender
equality,
equality.
it's actually an
It's an
illusion.
illusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this was our topic for episode 27. Like Tony and I we actually like bashing that thing that they say, oh, men and women are equal. Like
Yeah.
we are outrightly saying that we are not equal
At all.
like like okay, everybody have their we admitted that everybody has their own rules to play,
Sure.
but whose own is more crucial and harder and like deadly and everything is the men. So like you just the whole idea of society like we like to sound pure and all this shit, but like
Yeah.
men and women are not equal. Like I actually love the fact that you actually brought it up. Like
Yeah,
yes,
to be real.
we deserve the same rights, opportunities, chances, etc. But
Yeah.
like calling us equal outrightly, it's bad. Then that is why you now see people trying to equalize us. Then like in the process of trying to equalize us, then they're now giving women higher rights than men.
Exactly.
I mean, how many like men organizations do you see? How many men like men-based organizations, like organizations for men, organization
Yeah.
you just see women and children,
Even in
women.
terms of days, you see Women's Day, Mother's Day, Mothering Sunday,
Exactly,
Girl Child Day, this
exactly.
day. So I'm like,
That
how many days in a year are dedicated to this gender? And it's quite funny. And that also is that thing of equality even comes into play. Okay, there's this always funny thing that's always happening. Probably because it's quite funny saying this, but generally there are a lot more richer men than women. And when they get divorced, especially the women always take advantage of this. We have seen this happen a lot of times.
Yeah.
They divorce the men to get half of
half
their.
of their property.
And then, funny enough, when Offset, because Cardi B is richer than him, when he decided to do the same thing
To her.
okay,
Yeah.
I want to divorce, I want to get half of your net worth or whatever you own. And then the women are now coming out to say he's not a man, he's not a real man. And I'm like,
Blah blah blah.
wait, aren't you the ones that were pushing for equality in the first place? So why is there anything that has to do with equality that does not favor your gender
Yeah.
automatically is wrong to you? I mean, that's always the thing of double standards coming into play every time.
Yeah.
And against
they're,
that,
they're
actually.
just they're always playing like my main point. I remember my main point in that episode being that we are not supposed to be equal.
Yeah.
Right. Then these people are now trying to like make us equal. That is, you're trying to like
Force equality.
like yes, like something that was natural, you're trying to make it artificial. And now like look at what is happening. A man will divorce a woman and boom, the empire he built, he has to divide it into two and shit like that.
Yeah, it's not
So it's actually crazy.
very.
Going back to something that you said earlier,
Yeah.
it just like left one thing in my head, which is I feel like love is being modernized, right? Love is like I feel like because of things like this, love is losing its magic
Mhm.
because people care more about the videos of their boyfriend kneeling
Yeah.
out proposed to them, circulating, than actually building a long-lasting relationship with the man. I mean, think about it. Like every single thing is being modernized, from the way we talk to like everything, and now it's happening to love again. Like, it's happening to love again, and for me, outrightly, it's bad, right? That girl that came in from the perspective of women are suffering, and okay, the one that was talking about 79,000 women
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
did that this or that. Honestly, what I would say is that, okay, I don't understand that women are truly suffering. But like, first of all, if we are to pull out men's stats now and check how many men commit suicide and how many men go through
Oh
this
my
shit
god.
and all this thing, you say that 79,000 self is even like, is even small.
It was very little amount, yeah.
So like, I mean, basing the, okay, the fact that you're saying that we have to kneel down to propose to, like, because of you guys are suffering, doesn't actually land and sit well with me. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't actually land and sit well with me. I like, it's just leaving the question of what kind of culture are we promoting?
And living for the generations to come.
And living for the generations to come, exactly. Everything is now social media based, social media based, social media based, social media based.
And
Man, if your girl doesn't agree to marry you because you didn't go down on the knee, what next?
if she's fixated on the idea of I kneeling down
Yes.
and saying that we'll never get married, then I will know she's not actually ready
Yeah.
for marriage. You know, marriage is not something you rush into because you're getting to 26, you're getting to 29, your parents are telling you where are my grandchildren, and that's what I always say, that a lot of people, and we have to still come back to the female gender again. Women are generally more emotion driven than men.
Mm,
It's not even a debate at this point.
yeah.
And why? And then this thing of, and social media now plays a very big role in defining that whole female system, because um how do I even describe this now? Like, it's, I don't want to say, actually it's for the validation now, because there's this social cultural whatever that comes into play. Like, it's now like um marriage has gone past the initial core values, the values of being a companion, the values of taking care of your children, building them to be whatever they're going to be
Yeah.
tomorrow, the values of being a support system, being there for the other person, the person is down. You know, marriage is a lot of things. It's
Yeah.
not it's not just about the, let's don't forget about the emotional connection now.
Yeah.
It goes beyond that. Like, I mean, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, apart from that, what else? Marriage, like, you see, marriage is, you see your parents gisting, their friends, they're not just lovers, they are friends, they are
Yeah.
your support systems. When this one is down, they are helpers to each other financially, whatever, in whatever
Yeah.
aspect
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
do. So I'm like, marriage, it goes beyond love. Let's even begin with, although most of the reason why they're doing this for the other person is because of love, but then marriage just goes beyond what females see as the notion, what they perceive to be the notion of love, based on what the algorithm on social media feeds to them.
Yeah.
And the problem, that this is why I'm saying that, this is why I said I will not, because if you're not seeing beyond kneeling down, like, you should look at marriage. You're like, me and you, we might be together for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, and watch, and the condition you're placing on them. You're not placing a weightier condition. You're looking at my temperament. You're not looking at
Yeah.
my potential, yeah, like my skill set, my mindset. You're not looking at what I can go on to become in the future. Just looking at whether I can kneel down for you or not. And you just decide that I won't get married to you because of that. Oh, fine then. Fine. You can go ahead and look for a man that will kneel down and marry you. I hope you don't be the one laying down to begging when he's beating you, though.
Actually, man, it's like, people, like, we need to look beyond the whole kneeling down thing. I mean, like, like, as you're just saying, this is something that could last for 20, 30,
Yeah.
40, 50, 60, 70 years. And and you want to base your condition of something that could last for like an average of 50 to 70 years on whether he kneels down or not. I mean, if you're going to base that condition on anything, it should be something more
Reasonability,
substantial,
yeah,
something more,
substantial. No, that's
something.
very silly in my opinion.
Yeah,
Very,
actually,
very silly.
actually. Do you think social media has played a role in all this? Kneel down before you
Uh,
marry me.
that's played a very, 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 very big role.
Very big role.
Very.
Wow.
And as we can, everybody can outline the positive effects of social media. The negative sometimes seems to outweigh the positive. Because in the 90s, in the 80s, 70s, 60s, when there was no social media, there was not even really much pressure,
Yeah.
right? Um, Even going beyond proposal now, I mean, it's social media. I don't even know where I want to start from with this. Okay, now let's even start from this part now.
Mm.
The social media has even influenced like the littlest things, such as the kind of ring the man gets for you, the kind of setting. Personally, I feel like okay. Personally, if I want to propose to a lady, I might decide to. Personally, I would like to do it in a quiet place.
Yeah.
In probably could be a luxurious place. Probably depends on my mood or my income at that time, or whatever.
Yeah.
I have my own personal this thing. If she says she wants it in a particular way, we could also like okay figure out how do you like her and both of us just what we can drip and what we can merge and whatever. That's supposed to be between us, supposed to be our personal decision. But the fact that what she saw on social media 5 years ago that is still stuck into her head, it's
Mm.
what's now influencing her decision. It's quite funny because you see things like even weddings. You see people seeing Davido and Chioma's wedding, seeing big celebrities'
Yeah.
wedding,
Yeah.
and they want their own wedding to be like that. They don't even look at when the man says, "I don't have." I mean, I saw on Twitter. I think it's not up to a week ago. I think I posted it, but I deleted it because I wasn't ready to get into. I wasn't in the mental state to actually get into some argument at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But the man was like, he and this lady, I think, have been together for probably 5 or 6 years now,
Wow.
probably from university, who knows? And they want to get married. And the man said he has a budget of 5 million for the wedding,
Mm.
which to me is a very, very okay amount. It's very reasonable. And the woman said no, it's not enough for the kind of wedding she wants. And for that reason, she won't get married to him. I look at this. I looked at it. What came to my mind was that them cut your hand. Wait, you are like you want a big wedding.
Not a big
You
wedding.
want a big wedding. So what happened to okay? Let me also put 5, 10 million. Let me drop it down.
Yeah.
Let's do what we want. So at the end of the day, these ladies are very very impractical. They see what they want on social media. You don't even look at what the man how when the man is going through to put that money down. If you know you want something that bad, you can also contribute to it. No one will kill you.
Mm.
I mean, it's both of you that are getting with it to each other. It's
Yeah.
not like
Exactly. It's not like.
he's falling on top of the sky from you. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like social media, it influences us, it influences our decision, influences our mindset.
Mm.
Sometimes you won't even know how far this thing has gone until 20, 30, 40 years from now, when you realize that a decision you made is based off of something that you saw
Yeah.
a lot of years ago, and that's
Yeah.
why they always like to like to filter what we see, to be mindful of what we put into ourselves, our system, our mental system through the internet is very,
Yeah.
very, very,
So,
very.
like, what was the exact thing that you commented that you said that you deleted it because you're not in the exact state to argue?
Man, it was kind of like a bit of a like long rant, like my usual
Okay.
captions.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the point I made was that first of all, I think I mentioned the point of that one, this one I just mentioned now about the woman, she also has the
Yeah.
right
Yeah. Yeah.
and not.
To contribute.
Yeah, and then I also feel like this feeling of entitlement coming into play again. That was one of the things I mentioned. I mentioned entitlement. I also mentioned I can't remember what the other day I saying that thing. I can't clearly remember again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think has escaped my mind. It didn't steal my status for long, so yeah.
It's crazy though. I mean, she wants a wedding that is like she can't, accept the 5 million naira budget for a wedding. I mean, what if we looked at it from the woman's side? Though?
Mm-hmm.
What if we look at it from the woman's side? What if like let's say there are reasons why they do what they do? I don't know. I don't. It's not even. I don't know. You've noticed it. Everybody have noticed it.
Yeah.
Women and women are closer than men and men.
Okay.
Did I say that right? But like,
I think I understand where
yeah, you
you're
understand where I'm
driving
going.
at, yeah.
Like women and women are like, they more often form that tribe than men and men and men and men, women and men. So I feel like it's kind of like a social dynamic. Like everybody needs to step up or be better than the worst person in the group. Right? Everybody needs to be better than the worst person in the group. So like maybe it's kind of like a silent comparison though. Maybe they are trying not to fall behind someone or something. Right? They're trying not to fall behind someone. So they're now doing all these things that you're doing, all these I can't accept the 5 million naira budget for the wedding. And actually it's crazy.
This mom used to say something that a lot of women are competitive.
A lot of
And
women, yeah.
I feel they're even a little more competitive than men, especially among themselves.
Mm.
Like there's always this thing of me wanting to prove to the other lady how
Rich,
better I am, how rich my husband is,
yeah, how better my family
exactly.
is, and they even do it
So
to their children. Oh, my son is
exactly.
studying this and that, and
I mean, it's we've seen this thing.
yeah,
You
we've
get
seen it,
admission
yeah.
to study law, whether you have 10 or 20 carryovers, whatever you're studying,
Yeah,
as long as her friend is studying, her friend's son is studying a course she deems lower than law, she'll always rub it on her friend's face. Yeah, my son is studying law at the University of Nigeria. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's just something that I would like to see it in their nature.
yeah.
I mean
It's in their, it's in
some
their
might say
nature.
it's
Yeah,
controversial,
yeah,
but yeah, it's in their nature,
yeah.
and that's the thing.
Yeah, there's something I was thinking of, and I feel like it has something to do with the social media of the thing you said. Like, if you notice, our parents, like those that got married during our parents' time, their marriages are like they're like lasting,
Yeah, compared
like
to now.
30, 25, 20, 40, 45. But coming a little bit earlier now, you see people that married like marriage is ending in 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
Do you think it has anything to do with social media?
Anyway, it does. Okay. I used to think before that some of these things were just there's this thing of it's all story until it happens to you or happens to someone close to you. Now I wasn't in their wedding because I think I was in school that day. My parents didn't allow me to.
Yeah, whose wedding is that?
It's more like I won't necessarily say they are friends because of the age gap between them and my parents, but it's just like something like it kind of like let's say my dad and the guy has a father-son relationship, like something like that.
Yeah.
And I think we did it on a Friday. I think I went to school that day, so I couldn't attend their wedding. I mean, my parents had this, medication, face your books and everything. So, I mean, it was so funny. It wasn't up to 3 months. It wasn't up to 3 months. Next thing I heard is that they are breaking apart. I was like, personally, this thing is actually very real, right? It's very, very, very real. And you look at our parents having decades of marriage, long-lasting marriages. Funny enough, some of our parents went through a lot in those marriages compared to what these Gen Z are going through that's making them divorce and all that. But the thing of there's this thing of your parents will tell you that to find a husband is not easy. Make sure you hold him tight. Tell the man that this woman is a very good woman and all that. It's not, and it's hard to find good women like this, virtuous women like this. And even though you guys have this issue and that issue, try as much as possible to hold each other together, compromise, love each other, pray, and all that. All those ethics that is to when you guys have issues, run to your parents. That was then. Now, when people have issues, where do they run to? Social media, Instagram, Twitter. They go there, they rant. And as girls, what do you call them again? Is it social media, whatever, netizens, or your online brothers and sisters now
Okay,
will
shit
now,
like that.
will now start coming as like they play a family role in your life, start giving you advice. And I know all these things are just like based off on how like it's complicated. A lot of theories combine to each other. You as especially actually it has to do with the females most of the time. Less the males have their own wrongdoing in this too. But always because most of the time, majority of the divorces are always initiated by the females. And I can't remember the exact where I saw that, but I think it was a whooping 80%. of divorces that were initiated by females that year. I think it was in US last 2 years. I can't remember the exact. It's been a while I've seen that. And I mean, I feel like the fact that if you will see things on social media. If the guy does this, leave. If he leave, 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 leave.
Okay,
At the end
yeah,
of the
yeah,
day,
yeah,
you are conditioned to leave.
yeah.
It's based on what you've been feeding off. So social media plays a lot. I mean, sometimes a lot of people will not actually have held on to some opinions if they did not see like-minded people like them doing the same thing
Mm.
on social media. Because let's say, like I used to feel like some of these things that are being frowned upon, I don't even want to go into that, right? I don't want to go into that topic. It's very, very to divert this thing. But some of these topics that are being frowned upon
Mm.
normally, like it's in the normal traditional society we have,
Yeah.
when some people go online and see that they have a community that embraces some of these things, that pushes them, the next thing, they will feel more comfortable to start, propagating such on social media. And then from social
Okay.
media, it keeps on spreading. People start, I mean, there are a lot of things that I've done in real life, or I've just tried to see whether it should even work, based on what
Mm.
I've seen on social media.
Mm.
Sometimes you see they will give you some relationship advice, some psychology. If you if
Yeah,
you if
yeah,
you
yeah,
talk to a
yeah,
girl
yeah,
in
yeah.
this way,
In this
she'll
way.
fall, and you're like, okay, let me even try, let me even see if it's
Mm.
possible. Little by little, you are building such mindset based off on what you're seeing regularly.
On
So if you
social
come, if
media.
as a girl, if you keep on seeing if a guy doesn't treat you right, whether there's but treating you right is how will I even put this thing now? I don't know how to the word I'm gonna use for that now. But like they won't even actually even how will I put this thing? Treating you right, that phrase,
Yeah,
and people have different meanings.
yeah.
People have different notions of that. But you now imbibing someone else's notion or perceived notion
Yeah.
of that because the person is saying I don't even know how to even put this in clear words now. What I'm just saying in general is that most of the time, most of these women do what they do. Most people do what they do in generally because they are seeing someone doing it. Other people are
Yeah.
also doing it, and in a way, somehow, somewhere, whether consciously or unconsciously, they also do that thing in real life. So
Mm.
that's just it,
Actually, that is very, very beautiful perspective. Um, I also believe that wherever there is a disadvantage, there's an advantage.
right?
And yes, in as much as our parents, those that got married in the 90s, their relationships are strong, lasting, going through tough times and shit, and they're still active now. But do you feel or do you think that social media has actually played at least, even if it's just one mentionable good role in relationships, in family building, in all this, in everything that we have been talking about so far? Do you feel like, okay, maybe there's one part that social media plays like a good role? Let's say like one place that you're going to give social media its roses.
Um,
Yeah, it's a tricky question. It's a
as
tricky-
as much as the negative aspects to me outweigh the positive, but yeah, I feel like there are good sides to this thing, right?
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, just look at what we're doing now. We're gonna put on social media.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So, like, as social media is used to propagate what it's bad, it's also used to propagate what is also good. I mean, they're both propaganda. So, whether good or bad,
so it just depends on you as the person, which one you find first.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, whatever you find and you interact with is what you eventually like. You to become part of you, and whether
Yeah.
you like it or not. And that's why so that's why you see sometimes some people even see the wrong thing. I personally I have been a victim of that, right? um that's why I had to learn a lot of times to control my emotions, to learn not to judge, to wait for the second side of this of the party to make a final judgment.
Yeah.
Because one of the times you will see something, someone will come out online and be like, even sometimes give evidence, he raped me, he did this to me, blah, 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 blah. For the guy to now come back with his own counter to realize that, well, it was the girl that was probably pushing a false agenda
Yeah.
against him. So yeah, as it has happened, you might go on social media, see a particular theory, a particular concept that seems interesting to you, that you like, that you believe in, and then all of a sudden you just see another one that is correcting that theory. You're like, oh wow, this is the right one. It might not actually even be the right one, but it's just what appeals to your senses,
Yeah.
and that's just it.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually. Okay. Do you think there are solutions though? I mean, we are moving into like a global village, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, and telling somebody stay away from social media.
It's quite impractical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite very practical, very complicated. Like there are many things to it. So like, do you feel like there's actually any solution, or are you going to say it's something of just building yourself and stuff like that, or like do you feel like okay, there's like a practicable solution that okay you can give to women so that they'll stop rubbing their relationship and everything off of what they saw on social media, stuff like that?
There are solutions. I mean, when there's a problem, there'll always be a solution, and
Yeah.
that's one thing. So, isn't it? For me, solutions come up of sometimes taking clear your head.
Mm,
Sometimes think about some of the things you've been putting inside your head. You've been agreeing with them, you're saying yes sir, you're dropping your likes and your comments and
mm,
everything, and reposting and everything. Sometimes take a break, think about some of these things, talk with revered people in society, elders and people that, because sometimes when I say these people are backwards and all of that, but
yeah,
sometimes their opinions actually smarter than some of the things that these Gen Z are giving online.
yeah, yeah.
So sometimes go off, think about some of these things, reflect, have people like-minded people that are also like being objective about things, just bothering about well, what did we see online, just start, just out of a sudden just start practicing, people that will actually like to calm down and think about things, question things, and before they just imbibe it into your lives, people those are people you should have around you,
Mm,
at least as your close circle. So if you guys see something, first of all, like let's say you see something, things like this, let's say a woman kneeling down, like that man
yeah.
prostrating and whatever, you can send it to your circle of friends. You guys can think about it. Let's look at it from this side and from this side. And just kind of so like people that you should have around, people that will just immediately see it and say,
And then they just agree
yeah, I'm
and
like,
just,
this is this. I mean, I had someone coming to my DM and saying, wow, this man is so romantic.
this man is so romantic.
I just sent a sticker because I didn't have the strength to even have a conversation with her. I'm like, okay. And then I think the person came back when the person saw my status and I was like, trying to argue, and I was like, see, you have your own notion of romance. I won't argue with you. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I just have to leave. I just have to leave it at that. At the end of the day, no matter the solutions you prefer, people will still stick to their beliefs. And I mean, you
Yeah.
have seen some crazy theories that have come up. I will see them. I'll be like, wow, how do people even think of this? And how do people even believe in this? But at the end of the day, that's just how life is. People are
Exactly.
different and they were built to be different.
I mean, I was just thinking of that thing you said of what other girl told you when she was like, "It's so romantic."
Mm-hmm.
What if there's a clash, like there's a clash between the girl's perception of romance, right, and the guy's values. Like for example, what I basically mean, okay, like somebody that like you now just advocating for this, you're advocating for now.
Yeah.
What if there's a clash between your beliefs and the girl's perception of romance? I mean, like, I mean, I don't feel like maybe we should totally discard their own perception of
Yeah.
romance and shit like that. Maybe, give them their roses sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, give them their roses
I
sometimes.
mean, it's what you want.
But like, what do you think should happen when those two things clash? Because it like actually thank you for saying that thing, because now I'm just beginning to look at it from like a very very new perspective. Maybe it's
Yeah.
not necessarily that you're not thinking about the future and all this. Maybe it's
Just want it.
yeah, it's just something. It's just like the perception of like romance, and like they will actually like it if you do value it, and they won't like it if you don't value it. Because if they value it, you also have to value it too.
Yeah, and that takes a U-turn back to what you said earlier about compromise.
Yeah,
And
compromise.
sometimes you just have to look at it and be like, okay, let me just do this for the sake of okay, I love her and she wants it. Okay. Because some of the things that we do for the people we love, it's not like we actually enjoy it, or
Yeah,
just do it
just for the sake
for,
of them being a loved one.
and then they'll be happy, and so that they can be happy, because their
Mm,
happiness is your happiness at the end
yeah.
of the day. But like I said, these things, right, as much as I could decide to do it for my woman, say okay, let me kneel down to propose to you,
Mm.
I could what I'm actually just driving at is that it shouldn't be something that will be mandatory, it should not be obligatory, it should
Okay.
not be the reason why you'd say I will want to have anything to do with this man again.
Yeah.
And that's the major issue that I'm having with some of these ladies, because that's the mentality they're carrying about now. So end of the day, you could say because some at the end of the time, based on what some people, what they've seen is what you stick to. I might say, okay, straight ahead. I want flowers. I want cakes. I want
I want kneel
roses. I
down, all
want
these
you
things.
kneel
Yeah.
down. I want you to give me fine wine under the candle, under the moonlight, or whatever. They want it like that. Okay, fine. We could do that, right? But the true love that we claim to have between me and her or whatever should not be necessarily based on that. It should go deeper than that. You feel the point? It's not something
Yeah,
that's meant to be necessary. It should not be a rule. It should not be a law. That's why it's not even a law even to begin with.
yeah.
Because it's not that necessary. It might be a thing of choice. Yeah, I choose to do it. Yeah, okay, fine. But being mandatory is a no 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 for me.
Yeah, like the only necessaries in a relationship should be those things that are actually vital to the survival of the
Exactly,
relationship. Not
exactly.
a guy gets down on his knees.
No, 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 it's not.
Well, actually, this podcast has actually been very, very, very enlightening. Okay, let me just end it on this note now. The title of the topic of this episode is, should a man kneel down before he proposes? If you have to answer that question, yes or no. No, no,
No go in
no in
between.
between. No,
No.
yes or no.
You wanna hear my answer?
Yeah.
No. No.
Perfect. Perfect. I love the answer. Too.
Yeah,
I mean, you gave me some actual new perspective to think of, especially when you say that it's not our culture. So I've learned a lot from this podcast. And if you have to, our comment box is always open. If there's anything you think that was said here that you disagree with, our comment box is always open. Our email is always active. See you on the next episode.
yeah.
It was very nice having you on the show, man.
Thank you so
It was
much.
very
Thank
nice
you so
having you on the
much.